Aviv. Thank you very much. Now we move on to Europe. Georgia's prosecutor general has opened a criminal case against former President Mikhail Saakashvili and 7 opposition leaders. The case alleges sabotage, support for hostile foreign activities, and financing actions against the constitutional order. Additionally, authorities say that he said opposition leaders are also discussing accused of calling for the violent overthrow of Georgia's current government. However, as per the latest report, court applications will soon be made to impose bail measures on 2 of the party leaders that include Mamuka Khazaradze and Badri Japaradze. The investigation is now ongoing with preliminary hearings for the other defendants, also scheduled according to a set legal timeline. Now we move on to Poland. Poland has announced a new military training program this month as part of a broader plan to train around 400,000 people in 2026. Poland now spends more of its GDP on defense than any other NATO member. Now it has grown into the alliance's 3rd largest military with 216,000 personnel and plans to expand its forces by nearly a third over the next decade. According to the defense minister Władysław Kosiniak-Kamysz, it will be the largest defense training in Polish history, and the program at readiness will be voluntary and open to all citizens from school children to working adults, companies and seniors. The program will offer a basic security course, survival training, medical instruction, and cyber hygiene classes. The program was first announced by Prime Minister Donald Tusk in March this year to build an army of reservists amid heightened security concerns following Russia and Ukraine's war. Now for this discussion, we welcome Dr. Satoru Nagao. He's a fellow at Hudson Institute, joined us live from Tokyo, Japan. Thank you very much, Doctor, for joining us again. Good to see you. Doctor, what are we to make of this Poland's readiness? Are they anticipating joining the Ukraine-Russia war, or maybe Third World War, as we see a very serious stand in their stance for preparation of war?
Serious, but preparation means that under the current condition, it could be the Cold War style, not Hot War style. But the lesson learned, what happened in Ukraine is when the Russia invade, there is a possibility, if the Ukraine's defense is not enough, Russia can occupy the Ukraine a very short period, or some days or something could happen in the flat terrain like Europe. So flat means that the tank can move very swiftly. So in case of Poland, Poland is worrying the situation. Even if they belong to the NATO, if the Russia start to invade to the Poland before the reinforcement from other countries come to the Poland, Russia occupies Poland, that kind of situation is nightmare. Poland is expecting and preparing to avoid such kind of situation. In the 2020, when we checked how many armed forces Poland has, members are indeed 120,000. So now they talk about 400,000, means that nearly 4 times bigger. This is very big indeed. And currently, the Trump administration asked the European NATO allies to spend 5% of GDP for defense. But in case of the Poland has already reached 4.7% this year, and the next year it will be the 4.8%, so it nearly reached 5%. So that's why the Poland believe this is a very important thing, and seriously they conducted building up their defense. Because of the Russia's aggression to Ukraine, because of the flat terrain the Poland is facing, and because of the location just side of Russia, Belarus, so that's why they really improving their military capabilities.
As you also mentioned, this is a very big move, and how might Poland's large-scale this military training program, do you think it could reshape its role and influence within NATO? As you also mentioned that it's going to be reaching the highest in terms of defense spending as well.
Of course, in the military field, in the decision making, Poland's the influence will be big if the Poland's military is bigger than the other country. Because for a long time, the NATO countries cooperate each other, but at the same time, how much role they can take rely on their military power. So that's why British, France, Germany, these countries' military power is far bigger than the other country. That's why in the decision making, their influence is big. Of course, the United States is the biggest and of course most influential. So that's why in case of the Poland is relatively smaller influence. But when the Iraqi war has happened in 2003, many countries oppose the U.S. move, but Eastern European countries support the United States, and Poland send the troops Iraq. So at that time, indeed, Poland has emerging as an influential country from the Eastern Europe, not Western Europe. So that has indeed already started. Now, Poland is located in the Eastern Europe, facing Russia, and Russia's threat is emerging. Many small countries worry about Russia. In this case, Poland is leading country in the Eastern Europe, and strong military, if Poland possesses, in this case, Poland influence towards the voice of this country, representative of the voice of this country could be happen if the Poland's military is stronger than other countries.
And do you think that this expansion could prompt similar defense initiatives among other European Union or NATO members?
It has already happened. Finland already possesses a relatively strong military. Baltic state, of course, increasing defense budget, and Eastern Europe, like Hungary or Czech, Romania, Bulgaria, Turkey, all of these countries try to increase their defense budget. That's why President Trump asked NATO countries to increase the defense budget 5%. They already promised because they raised the defense budget already. And so that's why how serious the Russian threat is. This country, of course, feeling the strong threat from Russia's invasion to Ukraine. But in this case, their military, indeed, for a long time, these countries forgot about the security, so underestimate the situation. But once Russia invade Ukraine has happened, that is a big shock for them, and really serious they're thinking. And so that's why they increase the budget. So Poland is not the only country to increase their defense budget. And in this case, of course, Russia also they increase their defense budget. But anyway, Russia is spending their military power in Ukraine. So that's why in this case, NATO can catch up during Russia is spending their military assets in Ukraine.
And do you think that Poland, do you think there is any history that the fact that Poland lost and the Nazi Germany conquered over Poland back into Second World War. Do you think they are connecting this history to this move now?
Okay, we should not forget one fact. When World War II started and Germany invaded Poland, that time Soviet Union also invaded Poland from the east. So that's why, viewed from Poland, both Germany and Russia invade Soviet Union that time, invade Poland. So this historical fact is a very important lesson. But that time, Poland's military was weak. Because one example is when the German tank invade Poland, cavalry charge of the Poland army has conducted. Cavalry charge is too obsolete, even 18 years ago. So, but because their military hasn't modernized well, so that kind of situation has really happened. Cavalry charge with spear against the tank. So that's why currently Poland needs to modernize the military to deal with the latest modernized army of Russia. So that is needed. And so now Poland is buying many weapons from US, South Korea, other countries. That is happening because latest weapon and a strong weapon number is enough and tactics is sophisticated enough. All of these are needed because of this historical fact. Indeed, Poland faces many threats in the history.
Right. With that, I would like to thank Dr. Satoru Nagao for joining us as a fellow from Hudson Institute, all the way from Japan, and sharing that insight. Thank you very much. Now
Thank
we
you very
move
much.
on. Thank you. Now we move on to Asia. Authorities in South Korea fear 5 people remain trapped after a large structure collapsed at a power station in Ulsan. 4 workers have been pulled from the rubble, with 2 rescued quickly and 2 others later extracted, according to fire official Kim Jong-sik. Footage from the scene shows a massive steel structure mangled and toppled, surrounded by similar facilities. The incident occurred while workers were taking down parts of a decommissioned heating facility in the preparation for demolition in about 10 days. Rescue operations are still ongoing as authorities work to locate and safely extract the trapped individuals. This is what Ulsan Fire Station official has said.
20년도에 준공을 한 그런 타워가 되겠습니다. 그리고 그 21년도부터 그 사용 중지를 한 시설입니다. 저 내용 중에 이제 그 말씀드리겠습니다. 그 화력 발전소 보일러 타워 철거 작업 중에 발생한 총 그 9명입니다. 9명이고 그 2사람은 지금 병원으로 이송을 했습니다. 그래 7명이 지금 뭐 고립 및 매몰이 되어 있는 상태인데 지금 조금 전에 2사람을 그 발견을 한 걸로 지금.
That's all we have time for. Keep watching NewsX World for more news updates.